In this video, I will show how to use the shell method to set up an integral to find the volume of a solid of revolution. In this case, we have a region R between square root of x and x cubed. So let's draw the picture. Square root of x looks like this, and x cubed looks like this. So I'm just going to draw each graph on the interval from 0 to 1, and we rotate this region around the line x equals -2. So it will be somewhere here, and roughly it will look something like this. So it doesn't have to be to the scale, but let's rotate it around this line x equals -2, and we're going to get something like this. Now, since it tells us to do it using the shell method, the shells that we will consider will be generated by the x value. So each x value on the interval from 0 to 1 will generate a shell. So we can draw an example of such shell. And now the shell method basically it says set up an integral with respect to x, and what we're going to integrate here is the volume of one shell, which is defined by some arbitrary value x, and the limits of integration here will be the smallest value of x and the largest value of x. So the limits of integration are from 0 to 1. Now dv is the volume of the shell, and we know that the volume of the shell once the shell is cut up is equal to 2 pi, the radius of the shell. So to look at the radius of the shell on the picture, we have to look for the distance between the edge of the shell and the axis of rotation. So the axis of rotation is at -2. The shell that we are looking at is at x. So the distance can be found by taking away -2 from x. So the circumference will be 2 pi times x plus 2. And now we have to multiply it by the height of the shell, and the height of the shell is the distance between the two functions. So the height will be the square root of x minus x cubed. So we multiplied the circumference by the height, and we multiplied by the width, and the width of the shell is dx, and that gives us the volume for each shell at x. And to find the total volume means to integrate from 0 to 1. So the final integral will be this 2 pi x plus 2 square root of x minus x cubed.